I remembered when I saw Howard go by me that I forgot to acknowledge the birthdays in my presentation earlier. We have quite a few this month. Happy birthday not only to us, but to Jean Moran, Howard Jacobs, Bob Fidelka, JJ, Bobby, and Thomas Jefferson, who in fact was born on the 13th.
You'll see. It'll come up and just start talking in a minute.
Sure.
Booker T. Washington and Shirley Temple. So Liz, thank you for the cake and all the goodies, and also Judy for the other cake, JJ. And there's plenty left here, so help yourself before you go home. Okay, without further ado, as soon as Mike's ready, we'll start off on how to Skype. Everybody ready? I'm ready? Okay, Mike, it's all yours.
Okay.
Do you need this?
Oh, I should have brought my mic stand.
Watch your...
Okay, Skype is, I don't know, who was asking about it? Who wanted information?
Should I turn that on this time? Are we, yeah, there we go.
Who wanted information on Skype? Who's on, right? Hello, 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 hello. Skype is a system for doing audio and video calls across the net. It runs over Internet Protocol. It goes back, it was an independent company started by, I don't remember the Wikipedia, who did it in the first place, but it's set up as a peer-to-peer system, which means that every node that's running Skype software is talking to other nodes. You're actually talking to maybe dozens or hundreds of other places that's routing your traffic. So that's a peer-to-peer system. It's the same system that's used by BitTorrent, where everybody has a piece of the information and it all comes to you. You share your friends, your clients, the other nodes are giving you a piece of data, and then you assemble it all together to get what you want. So it means that nobody's being burdened with handling all of your traffic. So for the most part, Skype works by routing your traffic through everybody running Skype. So one of the things you need to do is be careful about when it's running in the background, it's actually doing work. You actually be handling traffic for other users. So here's Linda's GlarySoft, but how do you get Skype? Well, go to Skype.com. I'm going to show you how to install it on Windows. It's really hard. You go to Skype.com, and it says download Skype. So say yes. Okay. And when you need to create a Skype account, it will ask you to authenticate with a phone number or an email address, just so they know who you are, but I'm going to run it here. So we won't be talking and listening through this, but we can in fact do a video call, and we'll show you some more. I'm going to switch over to the Macintosh side of this computer. Yes, it's magic, it's a Hackintosh, and that part works. So, but anyway, it's as simple as it'll ask if you can download your contacts. You can say yes, and but you can create a contact by just adding in. You can search by their Skype name or by an email address or by a phone number to try to match you up, right? So we've got Joan on here. We've got Skype running.
Yeah. But it's multi-platform, which means that you can, I have Joan phone. This is Joan.
I can call you.
Yeah, well, okay.
So I'm bringing in everything I got. Here, I'll answer over here. Turn the microphone off. Well, of course you can't see anything. Hang on. I'll call her. Oh, it says I'm active. Okay. Start a video call.
John is unavailable. He's right here. Sorry. It's only because you're watching. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil's gonna call me.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta turn these things off. Okay, he's on my iPad. There he is. So we're in a video call. That's Phil, and he can see us through the camera and the microphone on the iPad. And we're going to have an echo here because both microphones are picking us up. You'll see some icons in here. I'm going to do it. I'll do it again from the desktop. Let's turn this off. It says we're active now. Oh, okay. We paid 2 calls going. There we go. Now in this case, because my sound is not working, yeah. Because my sound is not working, he actually couldn't, if I wasn't like 6 feet away from him, he wouldn't hear me. Well, we can't see each other, video's working. So that's how, now what you can do, when you're in a call, I can show you some of the things. You can chat, you can send files to each other, you can send icons, share, oh, I can show on my screen, huh? Okay, so, you see these icons on the screen, that's to turn the video off. You also, of course, you can see what you look like. Okay. This mutes the microphone. So you see the slash through the microphone says that you now can't hear me. If I turn this off, it means my video stops going again. If you turn yours off, Bill, turn your video off. Yeah, just click on that little video icon thing. There you go. So then you can determine whether you can see him or not. You can chat. So I'm gonna, that's what you can send files to each other. You can share your screens, and you can very easily have conferences, which we'll show in a second. Let me boot into the Macintosh end of what I'm doing here. I can make that stuff all work. But I want to show you that there is also, before I get out of this, hang up on Phil. There are other video, audio calling apps. One of which is, if you're in the iPhone, Apple world, FaceTime. So basically, from Apple to Apple, from a Mac to an iPhone, iPad, FaceTime works. It's only Apple world, and I won't show that. Yeah.
Are you saying that FaceTime is like Skype?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they do the same thing, pretty much. I mean, I would gather because Skype is Microsoft and platform neutral for the most part. I mean, you know, I've got it on Android here. You can run it on an iPad. This is running on a Chromebook. Okay, so it's probably got a whole lot more users. Okay, when you watch those live news feeds, TV screens, when they're interviewing people, they're always using Skype because there are utilities that let you go in there and record it and show it to the screen. And so, you know, even on the networks, you know, we're talking to the senator, whatever, they may do it on a Skype call from his kitchen.
And you can
You
do
know.
it to can you do it to another country?
Yes, that's the best part about it is it costs nothing.
It costs nothing.
The only thing it costs, if you wanted to make a call to a telephone, okay, you can buy credits, and if you wanted to call somebody in Syria, you know, you can buy credits where it's 50 cents an hour or something like that, and they charge for that because, you know, somewhere in between, somebody has to pay the other company for the phone call. But if your friend in Syria has internet and Skype, it's absolutely free. Talk anywhere in the world. It just runs over the internet.
My brother and sister-in-law in North Carolina Skype their son in Kenya or something.
Yeah.
But they're very, I hate to say we're cheap, but they're very cheap. And they only do the audio. Why would they only do the audio?
Don't know.
Is it because of cost?
Well, no. It's also, you know, if you don't have the bandwidth to support video, it's not going to work very well. You know, you have to have a decent sized internet pipe to send pictures. Where for audio, it's nothing.
How do you know how much is the bandwidth?
Well, you try to do a video call and knock out that all you see is blocks. That's what happened.
So, but Google's version is called the Google Duo.
Google Duo has apps for the okay, I'll show you this in a second. But they also have apps for Android and
Chromebooks, but the main thing is it works over Chrome browser. So any platform you have Chrome browser, including Windows and an iPad, it'll work. And I'll show that on the Macintosh side here, because I said about. So sorry about the clunkiness here, but I'm going to go through a lot of options. So I mean, there's the basic principle is that it's pretty straightforward. It basically just works. So, yes.
Okay, I just downloaded it. I wanted to say use it. I don't use any of it, but anyway, I downloaded Skype. It wanted to connect to like 4 other message programs on my phone. It also connected me automatically, supposedly with my contacts, who I know were not the contacts from before, and I don't recognize some of the names at all. Why are they there?
well, you know.
If you say it can have access to your contacts, it has your whole
No,
contact list.
I denied everything.
Okay,
That's
well,
why I have Yoshiko Okamura. It's here, and most everyone else I can say.
I'm not going to be in a
I know what
position
they did.
to explain Microsoft. Sorry. So what you can do, you don't. I think that it complains if you don't give it access to your contact list because Lord knows they add that their big data. But if you know somebody's, you can search for people once you're on Skype. Like if you want to search, if you go in there, you do get it to work. Why is this now? Okay. If like I know if I run Skype and I can search for Phil Bach, it'll come up. It'll find him and then say you want to call him. I mean, unless Phil has his account locked down, you can ring him, right? You know, it rings on his system.
Doesn't he have to have the app up?
He has to have what?
The app?
Yes. Yeah. You got to have it one way or the other. You do have to have the app running. Yeah.
Question, I asked you when we contacted each other at the beginning here, which Mike Andrews are you? The problem is, you know, Skype's got 3 million, 30 million, 300 million users, and a lot of them have the same name you do. So, the question of how do you find the right Bill Bach or Mike Andrews or whatever?
You can, first of all, hey Phil, I got your picture there. So I know that it's you. But you know, you can always verify that with other information, or you just got to ask, right? So it says that I'm active to Phil right now. So let's, did it bring you? Or are we still going back to the same session? Look at that. There we go.
Okay. Oh, you're reading.
Oh, see, shut up on his phone. See what happens?
I'm on both phones.
Yeah. Move the mic. So this won't happen to you unless you're running in 14 places at the same time.
Okay.
So now we can in fact talk back and forth. I'm hearing him talk. It's using the built-in microphone over here, and I want to show you something. I mentioned last time the podcasting that you can get headsets that have built-in audio drivers. So, stop this. So if I go to my setup, my settings, I can make it stop.
You can't wait to try this out, can you?
One of the things it says, you go under audio and video here in settings, and I wanted to show. Okay, sorry. You can choose, which microphone speakers you want to use. I'm going to hang up on you, Phil, to show something else, just to test those things off. Here's a new thing. Okay. And I'll set you, we'll talk to them in a second because we're going to do a conference. When you set up Skype, you want to know if it's working. Type in, I want to call test. Yes. Oh, right, it helps. This is a test. We're at the Lake County Computer Club. Hello. This is a test. We're at the Lake County Computer Club. Hello. So now you know your microphone.
To hear your own voice, then
Works.
you have configured Skype correctly. If you hear this message, but not your own voice, then something is wrong with your audio recording settings.
Your house is haunted.
Please check your microphone and microphone settings, or visit skype.com for more help. Thank you for using the Skype call testing service. Goodbye.
So one of the things you can do is I can put in a phone number in here. What's your number? Get your phone out. 9739.
Please record a message. After your message will be played back to you.
They don't have Skype credits. So this is where you got to buy. You give them money to make phone calls. So. Hey, this is Joan.
So now we're talking to Joan. Well, why am I so dark? Okay. And what I can do is add. Let's go back to this, right? Let's add.
First, mute the microphone. Stop. Now I can say, click on Phil over here.
And say, I shouldn't say that. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, do a conference. But oh.
Right?
Yeah.
How do I add my contact with my phone to the Skype on my computer?
It'll ask you
If you can, the contacts in your phone. If you run the app on your computer, it'll say, can I help up your contacts?
Yeah, but they're on my phone, they're not on here.
Well, put the app on your phone.
It's on my phone,
It is?
but I want it on my laptop.
Okay, you gotta do it on both. It'll add it to your Skype contacts. So Skype contacts will have all of that. Okay, it says that we have 3 participants.
Is it ringing? Bill. Very impressive, isn't it? So we're talking to 2 people on the call. Okay. You want to mute your microphone. Click on the audio on the little microphone so it's blocked out. Yeah, mine muted. Here we go. I want to get rid of the feedback. So we're now talking to both. We're in a video conference.
And so we all can talk to each other. We all can see each other. We can choose who we're gonna look at. Oh, yeah, Phil. Yeah, you just turned your video off. You can have almost an unlimited number of people participate in the call. So how we can switch? Yeah, you see the icon on the top. I can say I want to look at Joan, which is here.
Yeah.
Alright, so ignore the output.
Yvonne,
Yes. am I thoroughly confusing everybody here? No.
Well, maybe not everybody.
Yeah.
I'm confused. So, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If I have an iPhone and it has, what do you call it, Face Talk or?
FaceTime. Yeah. Well, we're not talking to do FaceTime.
Okay, is that the same as Skype?
Yeah, but that will only talk to Apple people.
Okay.
So you go to your app store and look for the Skype app and install it.
Oh, okay.
And you can do this, otherwise for Windows, you download it from the web. On a Mac, you go to the Apple App Store. Yeah.
Yeah, the apps talk to each other, so Skype talks to Skype, FaceTime talks to FaceTime. If you put Duo on your phone, Duo talks to Duo.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you can
They
use Duo
aren't.
to talk to Skype and vice versa.
They do proprietary protocols, right? They're all in their own little gardens. So you got it working? What?
Okay, now, when I do it, it says I have to invite these people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now if you want to invite me, put it, it's Mike A0. That's my Skype name. MIKEA0. And you could possibly join our conference that we have going on right now. But you could search for a name. Yeah. Well, right. I mean, and then you'll build your contacts, and you'll see on the screen, just like we have it here, you'll see people you've talked to before. But you see that it says there's 3 of us on the call at the top of the screen there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me, Phil, Joan. And by the way, this is running on a Chromebook. Invite, oh, you're going to invite more people, so I can add people to the call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, type a message.
Mm-hmm.
So, you see it on your screen?
Yes, yes.
So we're having this message on the side. I can send a message to one person saying, what do you think of that shirt that guy's wearing? So it doesn't have to be video. Remember, we can turn the video off. But right now, we got packets flying all over the internet with our pictures and our audio and everything like that.
No, that's not.
And I got it on Android phone. I got it on Apple iPad. We got it on Chromebook. And I'll show you what else we can do. So, what other capabilities have I not done, Phil? Yeah. Try to send a file. It says, see what it says, I can join that call going with Joan and Phil right there. Because I was invited to that call. Right?
So, by the way, this right here is, I was on the radio at Sun and Fun client down in Florida. We did an hour-and-a-half show.
This is how we did the podcast. Okay, so you can record this. I mean, in that case, there were 5 of us on there, including the radio station. So we were going out over the air in Florida, and I was just being brilliant right from my own house. So this is how we did the podcast. You know, I had my 2 partners, Dan and Kent. Dan was in Connecticut, Kent was in Madison, Wisconsin. I was sitting here in Chicago or Grayslake, and we did the show like that. We could talk to each other live. I could record the live broadcast. I also recorded my end of it, and then we put them all together with an audio mixer. That's how we did the show. So, you know, again, if you're seeing this on television, you can tell when somebody's on Skype. You know, we're going to interview so-and-so. You know, you can see a lot of cases they're wearing iPod earphones. You know, you can tell that or whatever, but they can also use the speaker. And you know, you can have a headset, you can have a microphone. Again, you can get one of these for about $30. This has a USB audio driver built into it, so you can plug it in and it works. So the reason why you have a headset is to avoid feedback like that and to avoid, you know, dogs interfering or whatever else. It's got a noise canceling microphone. The audio quality isn't the greatest. But all of those guys that you see, I mean, if you see them doing remote access, they're using Skype. So let me see if I have anything, other settings in here. There's a million settings we can go through. Your Skype name, you changed it here. You can change all this stuff. You can have notification and it'll tell you there's a call coming in or whatever else. Now remember that in order for you to know somebody's calling you, you got to be running Skype someplace. And so that's why all this stuff was ringing, because the Skype app was on there ready to go. If you turn notifications on, it'll sit in the background and it'll say somebody's ringing you, and then if you say yeah, answer, then it'll run the Skype application. But what you got to watch is that, you know, like here on Windows, it may very well leave a stub running in the background so that whether I'm using it or not, I'm routing people's phone calls. Okay, so I tend to turn it off. You know, for sure turn it off. Say off, 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 off. No, don't run in the background. No, I don't need you. But if you're anticipating getting a call from a relative or something like that, then you know, have it on and have it ready to work. I probably have the chat from that radio show up here someplace and it comes up. Well,
While Mike's looking for something on his computer, I just make 2 comments on this. I use Skype to do a presentation to a computer club out in California, hour-long presentation where I sent the PowerPoint presentation to the club, and one of the club members hooked up a computer to a screen like this and to the PA system in their meeting room, and I was using my computer, and I could talk to them just like we're talking here and go to my slides and the whole bit, just like I could do with a Zoom meeting, for example. So that's one usage. The other comment I was going to make was that I believe that Amazon has put Skype on Amazon Echo Show, you know, like the Google,
Like this hub, yeah.
like the hub,
Yeah. With those is
the
200
Amazon Alexa Show, Echo Show, so that you can say, hey, call J.J. Johnson, and it will hook me up on Skype, and he and I can see each other on, assuming he has an Echo Show also. So if you're doing this with your grandkids or your kids or your close friends, and he or she has an Echo Show and you have one, I believe the capabilities are now to use Skype back and forth. Hey, Phil.
answer.
Yeah, one of those cameras was right on your
Hey Google, answer.
computer, you know, another person has one of those cameras.
Yeah.
Then you can talk.
Oh, yeah, like we're doing right now, yeah.
Okay.
I'm using Google Duo. The Google Home Hub will do video with Google Duo if you enable it. But could you get to the other side? No video. Why? It doesn't have a camera. But it has your drivers in the kitchen. And hi mom. So and I think it was feeding back into itself. So that's we're in the Google world, and the Google Home Hub does this. As Phil was saying, the Amazon Echo Show can do this to a certain extent. It also can make phone calls. You know, I mean, now if I say to this to call somebody, it will call using Google Duo. The Amazon Echoes can make phone calls anyway. If you put in your cell phone number, you can call another Amazon user. We didn't know that. Across the world. So you say, Alexa, call Julie.
And it will call, providing you both enable that. Now I had to make this work, I just had to go in there and on the device, enable Google Duo. I can put, what I'm gonna call it. Look, I can just show you what it looks like from a computer. But again, there's no camera in there. Thank God. Or I would have said last night, let's see what colors are vibrating here in the living room. So I'm going to hang up on. I think I have all of it.
Are there any more questions about Skype or, you know, I sent out an email to everybody with a copy of the presentation I did back in February, which has a whole bunch of links in it to online Skype, both on the Microsoft website. They have Skype support and training on the website. Tech Boomers is another source. Lynda.com through the library is another source of Skype. It kind of takes you by the hand, explains what it is, devices you can use, what you do to set up your account. But it's not hard. You just As a matter of fact, Windows 10 basically includes the Skype app. If you go over to your home screen in the start menu and look at your installed apps, chances are you'll find Skype's already installed on your Windows computer. And all you need to do is click on that, it'll open up, and it'll ask you to create an account, which typically will be your Microsoft account. 0338 is one of my Microsoft accounts. And you can also set up an account outside of that if you don't want to use a Microsoft account. But that way you have the same logon that you use when you log on to Windows 10, same email address, same password, and it gets you into Skype. And there you go. And then it'll say, can we access your contacts? And you know, it's pretty much self-explanatory. You do a self-test to make sure your microphone works, your camera works. If you have a laptop, you put a piece of black tape over your camera on your laptop. Remember to take the black tape off so you can be seen. But as I said, the resources are out there. You can call anybody on Skype. The biggest difficulty that I see, and that I was asking Mike about, is if you're trying to call somebody and you say, I want to call J.J. Johnson, all right? Well, there's millions of users. How many J.J. Johnsons are there, and which ones are they? I've already gotten a couple of people trying to call me in German, because they know a Phil Bach from Germany, and I'm saying, no, not me, but anyway, it's free. You can have fun with it, play around with it. And when you do it at home by yourself, you won't get all this feedback. I promise you, you won't get all the squeals that you got today.
On two computers next to each other. Now this is, I mean,
As an alternative, you're saying, you know, how do I get it on my phone or whatever else? All we're doing here is running Chrome, right? We're just in the Chrome browser. I opened up a tab and went to away from the full screen. Yeah. Yeah. Like that. There we go. So all I did was go to duo.google.com, and it says enter your phone number. Now I put in my mobile number, and you enter a mobile number for somebody else, and if they do the same thing on their side, what happens then if you saw what you see on the screen, and then this is just on the web, right at the top of the screen, okay, are people
you've talked to, right? So there's Phil and there's Joan. So remember who you've had calls with. So from this point, remember, I'm still just really basically in a tab in Chrome.
I can call Phil, I can call Joan. I don't know about conferencing, we'll figure it out. Okay, but because I told the Google Home Hub what my phone number is, it will answer the call. And so, you know, this is another alternative that you have. You're in the Google world in this case, especially if you have Android or, you know, you're already in the Google world. That's an answer for you. Now I'll go back to Skype over here, and let's just see if we can find how we go about finding stuff.
So assign the Skype as the password. Thank you. All right. So how do I find somebody? The tiebreaker is we ask JJ,
what's your Skype username? Okay. Yeah, there's lots of Mike Andrews. There's only one Mike A0. That's my actual Skype handle. Okay. So by email, just ask the person you're going to talk to, what's your Skype name? And you'll have it. But let's put in JJ Johnson, right? You probably don't know as JJ, right? Have you used it, JJ? Skype?
Yes,
Sure.
I just talking to the bar a few minutes ago.
There it is. I got one. Love J. Johnson. Not you.
Which it was.
Live JJ. Which are any one of those you?
I don't think so.
Not live.
Yeah. So in that case, so you say JJ. What's your Skype handle?
I think JJ1450XL.
JJ1458.
It's the XL. And the Atari computer is never built.
XL. That's what it is. No, well, that ain't it. But in any case,
Probably Waukegan or something.
yeah.
Waukegan, Illinois.
No, I did it by person's name and their phone number. No,
Yeah, that'll work.
but you can't put any dashes in, it wouldn't accept it, I had to do one long
How do you get
thing.
my
and
phone
that's
number?
what- Huh?
How do you contact my phone number?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you can't put any
I did it.
dashes.
Okay.
Take it.
All right.
You gotta just keep,
One long string.
yeah.
Yeah, there's still no J.J. Johnson in Waukegan. In Kenosha, Fancy Kitty.
I'm in between.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you put in,
So, and the thing is to ask for your Skype name, right? I mean, when you register, it'll say, please pick a unique name. Remember, there's only about, 150 billion people on Skype, so you need a unique combination.
Got a phone number.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, not that we need to disclose all this stuff, but we're gonna. You want to know how to find JJ, Phil? Yeah, 847.
372. 8186.
No, that doesn't work.
okay.
Anyway, go by the handle. If you want to search the directory, you probably be, like I said, you only got a billion people to search through. So, is there any aspect of it we should go over, Phil, or any other questions? I think we're covered.
Any more questions?
Okay, if you have some contacts in here, you don't want them in your Skype contact, how?
I think you can delete them. You can delete them manually.
How?
Let's go look.
I'm not showing anything.
Remember the old trick? Anytime you have a question, just post the question on the internet, and I'm sure somebody will say, here's what you do.
Well, I don't want my doctors, I don't want to
No, I
Skype my
understand.
doctors.
Yeah. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to your question either.
Wow, look at that. You can do everything except delete it.
Yeah.
Add to favorites.
You can edit it. You can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's nothing to say.
Let me try press the delete key.
Just post a question on the internet. Somebody
Yeah.
somebody solved the problem. Any other questions about Skype? This isn't the end of the train here, so if you go home and play around with it at home and you come back to the next meeting, you have some questions, bring them in. Somebody probably will be able to answer them for you. If we can't, then just post a question on the internet and go through the answers that pop up. Preferably looking for a reputable source like Microsoft, Community Chat,
Yeah.
or something like that.
You never install any software, and you don't need a new flash driver.
Okay, it's getting late in the day, sun's still shining, so shall we call it quits? Any other questions?
Surveys.
Mike, thank you very much.